Hi there, it's Matt from Testfully, and I want to show you something that we have recently released. It's called route parameters. To demonstrate this feature, I'm going to use the Rick and Morty API. So let's just fire this request, and this is going to send the request to the location API and get the information for location with ID 1. So now this ID 1 is hard-coded. With the new release of Testfully, what you can do, you can change this one to, for example, ID. And that's called the route parameter. It's in the URL. It starts with colon followed by the name of that parameter. As soon as you add something like this in your URL, doesn't matter, start of it, end of it, anywhere as a segment of your URL, you can see that in the Params tab, there will be a new item with the same name as your route basically parameter. So let's say that I want to change this one to location ID, and that's going to be changed to location ID as well. So I will go back and change this one to ID. Now, if I set this one to 2 and send the request one more time, you can see that it's going to fetch information for basically location number 2. And if I change this one to 3, it's going to be for 23. So that's how you use route parameters in Testfully. What also you can do is that you can add more route parameters. So for this one, I want to change this one to resource and call it location. And if I send this request again, you can see that it's sending it to the same endpoint because I have configured the resource to be location and the ID to be 23. So one way to set route parameters is through the Params tab. There's also another way to do that one, and it's through the folders. So let's just change this one called demo of route params. And I will go and create a new folder called Rick and Morty API. And I will move this request into this folder. So if I go to folder settings, for each folder, there is a Params tab, and here you can also set route parameters. So instead of having my location ID at request level, I can set it in folder level. And the benefit that it offers me is that I can easily set location ID there, and it will be changed in all places. So here I'm going to change this one to location ID to be easier. I'm going to delete it from here. And if I send this request, you can see that I got a 500 error because the location ID wasn't set correctly. Now, I will go to my folder and set this one, the location ID to 1. And if I come back to my request and fire it up, you can see that it's correctly set to 1. So that's another way to use route parameters. But also what you can do, you can also use variables for the values. Say, I don't want to hard code the param here. I just wanted to define it and load it through a variable called var location ID. So I will just put the variable between 2 curly brackets, just like any other variable. And in my folder, I will define a variable called var location ID with the value 3. So now if I go back and send the request one more time, you can see that it's fetching location number 3. And that's it, the new feature for setting route parameters. And Testfully will keep your the defined route parameters with the Params tab in sync, but also you have the option for adding them through parameters for your location, for your folder. Also, you can use variables as well.